If you want to buy cheap and reliable coins and you support my channel, then please use the link in the description and go to fifacoinzone.com. You can buy 1,000,000 coins for only £6. And if you want to buy the cheapest games and codes, then the link to g28.com is also in the description down below. Hey guys, welcome to the special tutorial on how to make runs in Pro Clubs and Co-op seasons. This obviously is FIFA 15, but the very same thing will apply to FIFA 16, and therefore I call this my first FIFA 16 tutorial because FIFA 15 is at its end. In Pro Clubs you have to position your player yourself, and it's obvious that your positioning is absolutely crucial if you want to score a lot of goals. You all probably know that I play a lot of head-to-head, but some of you may not know is that in FIFA 13 I almost exclusively played Pro Clubs. In this video I'm gonna share my techniques which I learned over these years, such as the basics of making a run and get you that real striker goals, but I'm also gonna show you some more advanced stuff like using curved movement, running vertically when avoiding offside, and even how you can use the jockey movement from defending to position yourself when attacking. As you can see on screen now, the jockey movement indeed. You can see on screen now my statistic from FIFA 13. You can see I played a lot of matches and scored a lot of goals, over 1.5 goals and 1 assist per match on average. And trust me, for pro clubs there are quite insane statistics because you play with 3 or 4 pros and 11 players in total, and these stats are from my player only. Let us now get into the basics of making a run. If you're running through a gap, you should never run through the middle. You can see my mate is, probably not intentionally, running through the bottom of the gap, and therefore there's a huge lane for the ball to go through. In the next clip you can see very well that I'm deliberately running up to go through the top of the gap, and therefore the ball has space to go through the gap as well. Let's see now with some nice editing skills how this situation would look like if we went through the bottom of the gap, and then we can see that it would not be dangerous at all. So it's absolutely crucial to run through the gap properly. And after that I make a terrible decision to chip that indeed. And that brings me to a point which I want to stress, which is that on FIFA 13 I played Division 1 only, and even played some matches as the striker for a top 10 Pro Clubs team, but on FIFA 14 and FIFA 15 we are just playing with some friends, having some fun and not playing very seriously at all. And well, we can see 2 more examples of me going deliberately through the top of the gap, and therefore I get easy finishes all over the place. And again, on co-op seasons we can do this as well, but you get the ball around every other pass, so it's harder to make great runs in co-op seasons than in Pro Clubs. Let us see now an example where it goes wrong. My mate should run a little bit up at this point, so the ball's got space to go through him, below him, but he doesn't, and then you get passes like these, and it was just a little through ball. Only imagine what will happen when you want to give a through ball over more meters. And we can see here that you should also definitely take into account that you shouldn't bump into players all over the place. You can see my mate just bumped into 2 players in one single run, and you should really have to take into account to run around defenders. You can better take 1 extra meter and go around him than bump into him, because you're gonna ruin your own opportunity. And I can recall at this point my mate was a little bit angry that I didn't pass it to him, but frankly I couldn't pass it to him. He should be in this position and then I can pass it to him, but he was in this position. There's no way I can give him a nice through ball then. But I see now we might just still get a sneaky through ball through there if he runs down. A nice offside run he could have done, but he bumps into a player again and ruins his own opportunity. And yeah, you know I use a lot of skill moves, but you also want to score that easy striker goal. You're gonna want to score a lot of easy goals as well, and making good runs is absolutely crucial for that. The AI is not gonna make runs for you, you have to do it yourself. So if you're gonna make smart runs, you're gonna get a lot of easy goals all over the place. You can see me scoring tap-ins, and this is actually a very tight gap, but you can see I'm still running up, and therefore the ball can still go below me, around me, and we get even a little bit a tough touch there because it was quite tight there. But you can see I'm scoring easy goals all over the place, and even when you're anticipating a lob through ball, I go through the top of the gap because now I can take the first touch. I do mess up the finish, but it was all about the idea here. Okay, so that were the basics of making a run. Let us get into the anticipation section now. If you want to be on the right place at the right time, you have to think ahead. That is making runs before a player even receives the pass. You can see my mate just received the pass. He only has to take 1 touch, 1 first touch, and I am on the right place already. If he has to take 3 or 4 touches before you're there, you're gonna be too late. We can see before my mate controls the ball, I'm already sprinting. He only has to take 1 first touch and then he can give me the pass. If he has to take 3 or 4 first touches before you're even there, it's gonna take too long, and you're not gonna get that pass you want. And you can see here I went through the bottom of the gap because I simply didn't have time anymore to go through the top of the gap this time. But that was already the anticipation section, so run before your mate gets the ball. Let us now get into the making smart runs section. A great tool for making smart runs is the jockey movement, which you all know from defending. You have to hold the L2 or LT button, and your player is also gonna make jockey movement when you're attacking. And you can see, what am I doing here? Why am I not making a run? That is because I want to stay in the middle of the space here. There are all these defenders and I am in the middle of the space, and I use the jockey movement. I get great control over my movement, very easy to pick the position, and I'm literally asking my mates, come on, please combine with me. And this is probably the best example. Look at me jockeying over here. I'm not making that run. What am I doing? And if we look more carefully, we see two lines of defenders there. And I'm the only one who's thinking a little bit more smart than the rest and is staying in the middle of all these defenders. Let's have a closer look at that. The entire team is there. There's 10 players, actually really 10 players over there, and still I'm in this huge space in the box of the opponent. So if you're able to do jockey movement, we can see in the replay very nicely as well that I'm staying on that passing lane all the time, and also very nicely the jockey movement, how controlled my player is. And a great way of getting you that space is first running onto that lane, and just before the pass come in, jockey a little bit backwards, and you can see the perfect balance of my player. And here I'm jockeying, I'm just telling my mates, come on, please pass it into me, let's set up a combination. And then I do the basic run, go through the top of the gap, and we can score an easy tap in again. Well, it was a chip shot, but it are easy goals. I do not have to do much. And I'm positioning myself here again with some jockey movement. I'm asking them, come on, please pass it into me. Let's make a combination. And we get a great goal there again with some jockey movement. So jockey movement is also great for just telling them, come on, just pass that into me, and try to set up a combination. But also if you're going to want to finish yourself. You can see here a nice combination of these two techniques already. First we went through the top of the gap, then we're asking him with jockey movement, come on, please combine with me. And now before my mate gets the ball, we're already sprinting, we're anticipating that pass. Before he gets it, we're already sprinting, and therefore he can pass that first touch after that to us. And we get that easy tapping goal, which we all want again. The next section is about curve movement, and just like in defending, it's a great way of changing direction when you're running. As you can see, we are offside here, so I want to change direction obviously, but I'm gonna do that with curve movement. I'm gonna walk in some little circles, and now I'm on that great spot again to get that through ball, and we get that easy striker goal all over again. Because we make great runs, we get easy tapping goals all over the place. Look at that run over there. I've never seen anyone do anything like that. We keep changing direction with curve movement, and we get another easy striker goal. I do not have to do much, and we can see a nice curve movement, changing direction. We get another easy goal, I was about to say, but that was a terrible miss actually. And we can see if you run in curve movement, you keep speed. You do not lose speed when you're changing direction. So if you're gonna run in a little circle, you can just stay perfectly pacey, and therefore it's very dangerous. As you can see, I just run back from the offside trap, and then we use curve movement to get back from that, and that was a great chip shot after that to finish that off. But you do not want to be offside typically, so let's see how can we run if you are already on the offside line. Well, the only thing you can do is, which we're gonna see, is you can run vertically only, because you will get offside if you're gonna run to the right obviously. So you have to keep sprinting, but you have to keep sprinting vertically, so that means up or down on the pitch. Do not let go of the sprint button, because if you let go of the sprint button, the through ball will be overhit and you cannot do anything with it. So if you let go of the sprint button, you're never gonna achieve anything good really. And we can see here two easy striker goals again. I only have to tap them in, that's because I'm making great runs there. I got back from the offside position, and then I had to run vertically only, because I do not want to go offside. And we have to beat the goalkeeper here with the roulette, as we have already seen in the roulette tutorial. I'm running down here, did not get the pass, and I have to run vertically again, because else I will go offside. So running vertically is the tip of not running offside. Let's see what happens if you do not do this. What I would do in this situation is the green run. Go into a nice position. You could also go for the blue run and try and tempt that defender to get out of the center, but that probably wouldn't happen. But this is what happens if you're gonna stop your run and actually gonna stand still. But you shouldn't even slow down. Keep sprinting with some curve movement, go vertically, you will not get offside. because the through balls will also always be over here. This was an easy through ball. We can see we were running to the top right, to the top, then to the top left. Some nice curve movement, changed our direction, we went vertically. But let's get to the get loose section now. All that basically means is running into the corners, because there often is a lot of space in that location on the pitch. In the corners there often is a lot of space, but we are gonna apply the principle from the first section to get better through balls. I'm running down, where am I going? Well, I want to create that gap. There's a great gap for the pass to go through. If I were to be on this position and we assume the ball is gonna get a crazy curve like that, even then we're gonna get a ball way worse than we get now. Because I got that great run downwards, the ball had a huge gap to go through, and therefore we got a great through ball and we're able to finish that easily. And again I went down, so the ball has space to go through. But that is the end of this tutorial. If you enjoyed, then please leave a like, subscribe to my channel. This was SOETIE. See you next time.